Hello everyone, this is Ep40 and welcome to episode 40 of Ep40's OmniFactory series, which sounds like a really large number, because it kind of is. It kind of is. You need Certus quartz crystals to make what I want you to make. I could probably handle that. I think it's you guys, right? Because you come from autoclave Certus quartz? Oh no, I need actually this stuff, not that stuff. And it doesn't matter. Can I smelt you back up to quartz? I don't know. We'll figure it out. It'll be used for something at some point, I'm sure. Autoclave. Oh, good. You were finished with that. Today, I'm working on just a few things. Right? I need to get a new disk drive because we're getting low on drives. Hooray! So drives are complete. I just taught how to make those because I thought that might be a good time. A lot of steps involved in making those things, to be sure, but probably worth it. Also, making a bunch of salt because today I'd like to work on processing my rutile. So between episodes, you might notice my area is a little bit cleaner than it was before, huh? How nice is that? So we've got our 3 blast furnaces set up over here. I basically set up the middle one with the same recipes as before. I'm not sure if I'll need recipes on the low end one, and the high end one I probably will need recipes. Because what I'm working towards right now is the following, right? If we look at our quest book, we'll see that the next quest objective for me, the big one, is tungsten. And that's going to need some high voltage stuff to make. Actually need some extreme voltage stuff to make. So tungsten state dust can be electrolyzed into tungsten dust and lithium dust. Tungsten dust can be blast furnace into hot tungsten, which cools off into tungsten. Everything's cool until you see how much energy it takes to electrolyze. 1920, that's well within the extreme voltage range, which is anything below 2048, right? And above 512. That's your extreme voltage range. So we need an extreme voltage electrolyzer. We haven't done anything with extreme voltage yet. So I suspect we're about to learn how to make some of those machines. Now, in addition to that, I'd also like to look at what going to the moon, because there's some deuterium that I didn't see that I would need. But I'm interested in seeing what I can get out of that. So I'm going to kind of be juggling 2 projects at once here for a minute. I'm going to be a little bit working on the extreme voltage, and also, is the drive done? He's still working, I suspect. Yeah, he's making a lot of dark steel. That makes sense. Lots of dark steel required. Not a big deal. We'll let that cook, and we'll probably pop up to the moon real quick, because I'd like to get the moon dust that I need to get. Teleport me to the moon, sir. Whoosh! Huzzah! We are on the moon. And what we're looking for is not dark moon turf, but light moon turf, which seems to be some over here. Hooray! Quest complete? Booyah. Booyah! That's cool. 100 pennies, and we're good to go. Deuterium. There isn't a ton going on the moon surface. You might be wondering why you bother. The biggest draw is that blocks that make up the moon surface, moon turf, contain deuterium, a substance otherwise difficult to get a hold of in large amounts. It will be very useful for the modularium you'll need to make, as well as a good source of fuel for fusion reactors. There are also several other ores that are rare on the moon, on the overworld, but exist in abundance on the moon. In particular, the moon contains large quantities of titanium in the form of rutile and ilmenite ore, and tungsten in the form of scheelite and tungsten state ore. Yeah, we figured that out already. So now I need deuterium. All right, hold on. Nobody panic. Moon dust. Oh, okay, cool. We just need to pulverize some moon turf. Cool. So moon dust, either moon turf or dark moon turf. How about we just harvest ourselves a happy little amount for a minute before we get home? Works for me, right? Moon turf, go. How are we doing on reagent tank? Not bad, not bad. We still have 100 millibuckets of Dew of the Void in our fluid tank. You can tell I've teleported back and forth a few times here and there. Whoosh. So that's cool. So by now you might have finished my drive. Thanks, buddy. You know what I needed you for? I'll tell you what I need you for. A 1K fluid storage cell and a housing. You want to know what I need you for? Let's get a bucket and we'll find out. Salt. That's right, I don't have my fast an awesome armor on anymore. Let's go remedy that situation. Yusa! Need to electrolyze some salt for me, because I'm going to need lots of chlorine. We already need a healthy amount of chlorine, right? As is well known. Sodium dust. Why did you even sneak your way in there? You sneaky little sodium dust, you. So my 1K fluid cell should be a work in progress. Getting there. Oh, that's right. You have to smelt something. I'm smelting a lot of rock ore, aren't I? The one downside of doubling up the furnace that I use to process autocraft requests to go along with everything. But it's all good. It's all good. It's an easy fix when it happens, which is rare, right? And my housing might already be done, to be honest with you. So you, sir, can go into the housing, get your fluid storage cell, and we're going to have another drive. Hooray! You don't do nothing, okay? You're going to go in there, and you're going to whitelist chlorine. Cool. I can do that. Cool. Included precise type, so that if I pop up here and do this, boom, we've got one fancy little bucket of chlorine. Perfect. Nice. Loving the fluid storage stuff. It's very cool to have right now. So the reason we need chlorine is in order to make EV stuff, we need titanium. And we did this a little bit already, right? Like we've already played with titanium ingots a little bit, but we need to start processing all the titanium we're getting, right? So to handle this, we need to get titanium tetrachloride, okay, which is made by taking rutile dust and carbon dust along with 4 buckets of chlorine in a chemical reactor, okay? So basically, we're going to need a dedicated chemical reactor that's high voltage, because look how much voltage it needs, that we can say, probably what we'll do is we'll make it so that you put these 2 resources in, right? And here's what it's going to do. It's going to dump the titanium tetrachloride into the blast furnace, and we'll also throw magnesium in there in terms of an item transfer system, and that'll get turned into hot titanium and magnesium chloride dust, and the hot titanium will automatically process. So long story short, I'm going to say 2 magnesium plus 1 rutile plus 2 carbon dust equals titanium ingot. And if we set up the system correctly, it should all be pretty straightforward to handle. Should be. Should be. We'll see if I'm right about that. So let's get that going, should we? So like that was a chemical reactor, right? We're going to need an HV chemical reactor. So let's get that added to the list here, right? Advanced chemical reactor, so that we can make titanium. We're going to add you to the list, and moon dust, right? Moon dust. You needed to be what? Pulverized or something? What were you done with? Pulverizer. We had a pulverizer up here, didn't we? That we haven't used in like a million years? Maybe not. Maybe I got rid of it. Oh. Are you still cooking a whole bunch of stuff? I should have a pulverizer back here then. You also need to be an HV pulverizer to process. Well, look at that. How cool is that little thing? I'm processing a bunch of gold. As you guys may or may not remember, I was hurting for gold just a little bit. So you should macerate into moon dust? I just want to complete that quest, right? Thanks. Cool. Oh, look at this thing. First foray into the microverse. A small microverse projector, huh? I want to check that out. Because my understanding from kind of a little bit knowing about what's coming up is that's going to be some kind of resource producer. Some kind of way of producing resources. It's a modular machines multi-block. I don't know how it works, but maybe it means we have to stop mining as much, and that would be a lovely day. All right, so back to my EV machine work, right? Because we have to eventually, I can get rid of you and you, we're done with that, right? So titanium ingots, right? So what we said we're going to need is an HV chemical reactor, right? So advanced chemical reactor supporting HV, right? And that's about it, right? We're also going to probably want an HV electrolyzer, or at least an MV electrolyzer. I think I'm going to make an MV electrolyzer. Do I want an MV or an HV? Maybe an HV. Let's do an HV, just to make it nice and fast, right? HV electrolyzer is what I'm going to go with. Advanced electrolyzer. So we can get 2 HVs, right? And that should be cool. So let's cook up 2 more HV machine holes. And then while I'm at it, I'm gonna need a motor and a rotor. A motor and a rotor. And that should be a good time. Some gold cables, because we always need more gold cables. We always need more gold cables. And some electrum wire. Do you not know how to make electrum, buddy? No, you do. You do. Good. Can you make electrum wire? You can. Good. Go ahead, get to work. I'm cool with that. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. HV stuff almost done. Yeah, you're making your stainless steel, which, by the way, means we should see that machine on over there. See the green light? He's cooking. Beautiful. Everything's working the way it's supposed to again. I am having fun, 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 let me tell you guys. Boom. Advanced electrolyzer. And the chemical reactor Mark II. Doubly nice. All right. All the craftings will happen. So the advanced electrolyzer, we're going to pop right about here. Okay? And you're going to have two jobs. Okay? You're going to export and import. Come on, crafting CPUs. Let's get to work. Still on my to-do list to make a few more of those. I've done a lot between episodes, right? Honestly, I have. I'm not even kidding. I've done a lot between episodes. But there's still some things I haven't done yet. So I'm gonna wind up export busing chlorine here at some point, right? We won't need this electrolyzer anymore, and the chlorine can be export bused right into the ethylene to make your vinyl chloride, right? But we're in pretty good shape in terms of vinyl chloride, so I'm not super worried about that yet. So there's your import bus. There's your export bus. Okay. Boop and boop. And you know what? Just to make you look a little bit nicer, that should do. So I don't think it matters what goes where, right? I guess I'll make that the import, and I'll make that the export, right? And if we got some salt, that should be cool, right? No, wait, this needs to be the electrolyzer, not, right, the electrolyzer? Yeah, wrong block. Doesn't matter, it's the same thing. Cool, and then you make chlorine, which gets pulled into the system. Pretty much not fast enough. Cool. Accelerator cards, please. Accelerator cards, please. You know what else we're gonna need is an import bus for sodium dust. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna change this up. Give me an interface. Okay, you're gonna keep 4 salt in stock. And you're gonna do down is extract on brown, insert on green. East is insert on brown, extract on green. So you should be doing that. Cool? And we're gonna get all the sodium dust that we need, which by the way, you combine that with water and you get sodium hydroxide dust, which is what we need to make something, this stuff, biodiesel. Right? So the fact that we have this on automation now is going to be good for us in the future. That's going to be a nice future state for us. Okay? So that's pretty spiffy. Now we just need our acceleration cards, right? Are those cards actually being made? Yeah, the calculation processors are just taking their sweet time. Sweet. Hooray, acceleration cards. Beautiful. So your problem is that you're not importing chlorine fast enough, so let's fix that with 1 acceleration card. That's better. Definitely better. Cool. So that should produce like a kind of hilarious amount of chlorine for us, which will be good for our long-term solution. I don't know that we need salt for anything else, so I think we'll be fine there. Right? So now that we've got chlorine production going, the next thing to do, because we got rid of our electrolyzer, is titanium ingots, right? So to make these, we need a chemical reactor with 2 carbon dust and a rutile dust. And we need to export fluid chlorine, right? So what we want is a fluid export bus of chlorine. Missing lapis block. Really? A, you should know how to make that. B, I am hysterically low on lapis. You really don't know how to make a lapis block? You're embarrassing, buddy. Embarrassing me. Alright, export fluid bus, go. Cool. Cooking, cooking, cooking. While that cooks, we're going to want to go set up our advanced doohickey over here. So we're going to want our 4x vibrant alloy cables. And this is going to wind up going into this dude, I think. Right? So under here... Hooray. I didn't mean to break you, but it's all good. Ain't gonna actually hurt nothing, because there was nothing in there yet. Right? And you're still on insert? Good. Alright, so there is a fluid input hatch here, right? So that's where we're gonna export our stuff into, right? Meanwhile, you guys are doing stuff. I'm debating if I want another HVCEF dedicated for this, or if we should tap into some of the existing wiring. I don't think you guys have multiple wire outputs, and the way the wiring is back here, I don't know if it'll make sense to connect it. So I think a dedicated HVCEF for this room might not be a bad idea. So let's cook one up real quick, because that shouldn't take too long to make. Yeah, you can do that. So what we're going to want... right, ultimately, is basically, we're going to want this advanced electrolyzer too. Yes. You're not going to want to be here. No, you are going to want to be here. Yes. Not there. Here. Okay. Actually, this is going to get a little complicated, because we need to put stuff into this thing as well, right? So ultimately what we're looking at is we've got the input bus here, right? Now to make titanium, that's the hot titanium ingot. That is made, we have to put 2 magnesium into the blast furnace with the titanium tetrachloride. So what we're going to ultimately want is a crate with item ducts that are filtered. So there's one basic item filter. We're going to want another one. Does that reset the... It does. Nice. I don't know what was in there. I don't care. So you're going to be the crate upon which this whole setup is designed, right? So you're going to... not connect to that guy, or that guy, or that guy, right? You're going to go right into there. Or we could move this interface and have it be completely underground, and that would probably be a little bit nicer. So I think that's what we're going to do. You're going to be a little different, Mr. Interface. This interface is going to work for both things then. Okay. So what we're going to have then... let's get ready to move that, right? We're going to have item ducts coming off here. That's going to insert on green with a filter. That's going to be whitelisted, okay? And the other one can be blacklisted, right? Then we're going to have our interface. So this guy should probably live right down here, maybe. That seems like a good place. And the interface for these patterns can live here, right? So the pattern will insert into this chest, right? This will go here, and then we can have the advanced chemical reactor here with the fluid conduit, which we might be out of, believe it or not. The basic kind goes right here, right? So on the down, you're going to extract... actually, because you're going to get 2 fluids out of you, aren't you? Yes, you're also getting carbon monoxide that we're going to have to deal with. So I'm going to need the other fluid conduit type. Right? And we're also going to need fluid filters, because we have to specify which fluid is going where. Okay? So 2 fluid filters. And we're also going to want a fluid trash can. Really, bro? Thanks, Chief. Okay. So the plot thickens, but on the down, you're going to extract fluids always active, right? And on the up, you're going to insert with a fluid whitelist. And on the east, you're going to insert with another fluid, but that's going to be a blacklist, right? In fact, since we're talking about, let's whitelist the void and blacklist that, right? So we specify exactly what's going to get voided here. Cool. Okay. So for you on the down will be an extract always active. On the up will be an insert with a filter, and on the east will be an insert with a filter. Okay. But not extract. Cool. So now for titanium, we need 2 magnesium dust, 2 carbon, and rutile, right? So rutile, 2 carbon, which should be a quick craft, and 2 magnesium dust. Okay? Okay, so up here, your whitelisted items are going to be magnesium dust, right? Because that's what's going to go into the blast furnace with the titanium tetrachloride. Over here on the east, your whitelisted items are going to be the carbon and the rutile, right? And then in addition, we're going to have that fluid export bus with a cable connector like so for chlorine, which I'm going to have to go get some of, right? So give me a bucket of chlorine. Look at that. Chlorine for days all of a sudden. Chlorine was never hard, we just never got around to automating it, right? Okay, so you export bus chlorine, which means you're going to get filled with chlorine, right? And I don't know if we necessarily need an acceleration card in here, because once the internal buffer of 64 buckets is full, we should be fine, right? So watch what happens now, okay? The only other thing to do here is to get this guy over to the interface, which technically this doesn't have to be here, right? The interface could sit here, which would be more convenient because it's closer to our item export, right? So you're still export busing always active. So watch what happens when I put these 3 items right in here. Now the other thing we're going to need to worry about is the whitelisting and the blacklisting bit, right? So we should set you on the down to not extract yet, never extract, just so we can be prepared for this, right? So we can get the buckets of fluid that we need. But we put these guys in here like so, and they should be exported to the appropriate places. Right? Down. Oh, right, I know what's happening. Actually, I set that to whitelist. Do what now? Carbon dust, rutile dust. Up, insert, whitelist, magnesium. East, insert, whitelist, rutile, and carbon. That actually should be working, shouldn't it? Am I crazy? Can you not accept on that face? Is that what's happening here, sir? Maybe he can't accept on the back. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Yes. That might be the case. If I do that, are you cool? You're still getting chlorine. Where's my screwdriver? Allow input from output side. There we go. That'll do. Cool. So now you guys should be combining here. Rutile dust and carbon dust. Chlorine, 480. Oh, you need power. Yes, he needs power. That's right. Where is my HV doohickey? HVCEF. What are the chances that I can just put that guy just like that? Nice. Perfect, right? How cool is that? So you're going to process, right? But you're not going to export your fluids just yet, right? And that's going to be important thing, right? Because we need to whitelist which fluids are going where. Right? Do you have any item output? You don't. Good. So it's carbon monoxide and titanium tetrachloride, right? So in fact, what I'm probably going to do... Yeah, no, we can do this. Watch. Boom. Right? So on the east, we will blacklist we will whitelist that. And on the up, we will blacklist that, right? So on the east, we're specifying what's allowed to be voided, carbon monoxide. And on the up, we're specifying what's not allowed to go in there, carbon monoxide, right? So now if we were to turn this on the down and extract, boom, 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 he should be cooking. Where did I go? Where am I? Help, I'm lost. Hey, look who's making titanium. Woot. That is cool. Nice, and you made that. Now that should have immediately been exported over to here to be cooled off and turned into titanium, of which we should have now 11 titanium. Right? So I'm going to manually design what this looks like for the inputs, right? So we need 2 magnesium, 2 carbon, and a rutile, right? Rutile, 2 carbon, and 2 magnesium, right? And that makes that. So now if we were to come over here to this interface, and that's not too bad wire-wise, like that's pretty good. And I wanted 10 of you, that shouldn't be a problem, right? We have a little bit of crafting to do, but that should be fine. See what's happening? Boom. He's cooking, he's doing magnesium dust in there. Cool, we should have, you know, ultimately 20, right? Because it's 2 magnesium dust per craft. That's making it. It's a little bit slow on the chemical reactor bit. The chemical reactor bit's a little bit slow. But aside from that, I think we're good, right? This works, it's just a little slow on the chemical reactor bit. So maybe we do want... The other approach to this would be making this reactor dedicated, right? Does titanium need cupronickel, or is it cool with the yellow one? Titanium needs 21K. So 36K, 27K, 18K. So technically this could be done in a yellow blast furnace, right? So I can see why we might want to have a dedicated blast furnace. To make that happen, what we'd want to do is like keep a certain amount of carbon dust in stock here at all times, right? And just export bus the rutile and export bus the magnesium so that it's constantly producing as much as it humanly can. That would be another approach to make this constantly cooking titanium, right? That could be a way to go. This could be a dedicated titanium producer rather than an on-demand craft, only because of how long it takes for the chemical reactor to cook, right? Because remember, we're going to need about 10 of these per EV block, which is going to be a lot of effort, right? It's going to be a lot of effort. So that's something to keep in mind, right? As we process our rutile, might be a smart move to keep things in stock. I don't know. Where's magnesium dust come from again? Crushed magnesite ore. Do I have any of that? I have magnetite ore. I could have sworn I had some magnesium at some point. What's this stuff? More magnetite? Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I'm sure we can come up with more. Magnesite dust. Magnesium dust. Can you be electrolyzed? You can. Yeah. So that gets me magnesium and carbon dust for that matter. I don't know why we wouldn't just centrifuge you, right? Is it the electrolyzer that we need to run it through? Not the... Yeah. Okay. That's fair. And you produce a whole bunch of oxygen. To nobody's great surprise. So I should be able to do that, and then you'll produce it and do your thing. And that'll just make me more magnesium, but yeah. So long story short, it's working, it's just slow. Which we could, like I said, change this up. All I would do to change this up is make another furnace, place it here, replace this with Kanthal blocks, which shouldn't be too bad. Which, like, maybe I should teach you how to autocraft, by the way. How bad is hot Kanthal dust? Not terrible. Aluminum, iron, and chrome, right? I bet I could teach that, right? That would be cool. Let's teach you Kanthal dust real quick. Because you're easy, right? Kanthal dust is easy. Ish. Easy-ish. Iron dust, chrome dust. Right? Comparatively easy. Right? So you need to know how to make aluminum dust, which is funny because I usually have some, but I smelted it all up between episodes. But I should probably at least teach you how to turn you pulverize into... I should teach you the pulverization recipe just in case we don't have it. Okay, so if I wanted to make another 16 Kanthal, not wires, but Kanthal... What are you? Kanthal coil blocks. Yeah, there you are. So it's, again, 2 stacks of Kanthal ingots, right? Yes, because we need 16 of those, right? So it's 2 stacks of Kanthal ingots. And I should probably just teach you that you can process that right in there, right? So what I'm going to do is say, give me a Kanthal dust, right? We're going to say that 1 Kanthal dust equals 1 Kanthal ingot. We don't have to teach it the intermediary cooling step because that's on export bus, right? So we come over here to this dude. Kanthal should be able to process at 1500K. So you should be okay to do that, right? So if I say give me 128 of these, that shouldn't be a problem, right? You should start doing your work, theoretically. Cool. So you're currently crafting Kanthal ingots. Like I said, theoretically. Scheduled dust. Cool. Kanthal's going in. It's cooking. Pretty quickly, mind you. Right? And now you're cooling, and everybody's doing its job. Nice. All right. So why don't I do that real quick? We'll come back. I'm going to need I'm going to need 11 more of the blast furnace dudes. What are they called? Heat-proof machine casings? Give me 11 more of them. And then I'm going to also need 2 HV inputs. 2 HV machine hulls. And 4 LV machine hulls. And we'll be right back. Alright, since I built this off camera between episodes, I might as well show you guys how it works. So we have that, we have our blast furnace, we have our heat-proof machine casings, and then we should have our Kanthal stuff done, which shouldn't be too bad. 1, 2. I'm going to drop them into the wire cutters down here. Oh, you're doing stuff, aren't you? Yeah, you're busy doing things. That's okay, I'll forgive you. You don't take too long to process, luckily. Kanthal's a quick one. Cool. So heat-proof machine casings go here. So the way I did this, LV input. So we've got an LV input bus. We've got an LV fluid input hatch. And we've got an LV output bus. And an LV output hatch, right? So the way this is going to work is as so. I put the input bus here, the output bus here, the fluid input here. It doesn't really matter what direction they face, by the way. Fluid output here, blast furnace here, heat-proof machine casings go here and here, Okay. And then on the roof, we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Cool. And then we have 2 CEFs getting made. U and U, which we right-click with this so that we can do our 4x cabling here and here. And they don't necessarily need stuff, it seems. So that's cool. And then we just need to run this like that. See how nice and compact that is? Isn't that neat? Isn't that like tidy neat? Right? So now you should be getting the juice, and you should be cool. And our Kanthal, we've got the 256 of that we need. Boom, boom. Cool. And then you can be turned into that with a wrench. 16. Cool. And in fact, what we're going to do is just swap these two out, right? So this one's going to be my blue one, and this one's going to be another yellow one, right? So we're going to wind up letting this be yellow still, and then we'll make the right one the higher energy thing. Cool. Okay. So that should be good. It might be better to do this. Nope, it is not. It might have been better, but I decided to be safe. So then yellow goes here. Also, that'll look better visually, right? Because what we were making with titanium works in yellow, right? And then the blue guy can be here. And that works. Cool. Much nicer, I think. All right, now let's change this up to be an exporter, because that's going to have to be a little bit different. So what I'd like to do is a stock filter. So we're going to keep a certain amount in stock. So I know there was a thing for this. There it is. Limited item. Redstone comparator. What I'm going to do is we're going to remove your pattern for titanium. You're going to stay there, though. Okay. We probably don't need your storage crate anymore. What we're going to have instead is an item conduit that does an export of always active, right? And you're still going to be inserting only magnesium dust, okay, up there. So you're going to basically probably fill up with magnesium dust. Can I put this in here? I can. So that'll only keep a stack of magnesium dust at all times, right? And then for you, buddy, what you're going to do is you're going to still be carbon and rutile, right? So carbon, give me one of those, and rutile, give me one of those. But you're going to instead be crafted I need the advanced one. I need the Z-Logic controller, which needs a... That's not too bad of a recipe, right? Solarium, red alloy block, wafer. I could probably make that. Can I make a slice and splice right now? Needs tungsten steel. Slice and splice is gated behind tungsten. Understood. But I could still make it this way. Do you think we have that? You think we have that? Let's see. So I want this filter. We do have some of it. We just need... we just need the solarium and the block of red alloy. Right? And I think we can make solarium, can't we? I like this. I like this. This doesn't look too bad, right? You're going to make that red alloy real quick. Boom. Okay. And then you can make this guy with the remaining 2 solarium that you're cooking up now. Cool, right? And then you can become one of these, right? Which can then be upgraded to the item count version, right? So that on the east side, we're going to filter, right? I'm going to say 16 of each. Does that sound cool? And we're also going to want a crafting card. Give me one of these. We're short on iron plates. Really? Do you not know how to make iron plates? Okay, so card, I need a crafting card for you. Carbon, 16. Rutile, 16. So what that's going to do is it's going to make sure that we're always keeping 16 of you and 16 of you in there. Okay? So now what we're going to do is we're going to set you up to do that, that, and you should be putting 16 in, but no more. No more. Okay? Now I want to make my crafting card. Okay, and put that in there. We should see now an on-demand crafting request for carbon dust, which will only put 16 in there. No more. No more. Okay, so that's going to basically dump all my rutile that I have available to me at this time into this thing. It'll basically constantly dump rutile in there and carbon dust. Okay, cool. Now the reason I did the filter is I didn't want 2 stacks of carbon dust in there, which I suspected would happen, but never actually checked to find out if it would happen, right? The only other thing we might want is a quick acceleration card in here, because we are ramping this up now. So we might want to speed up the chlorine, right? That should be fine. Cool. So now that that's going, we're also going to want magnesium. We're going to keep 16 of you in there at all times. Okay, and then that should export bus into here. And I'll just let that fill up the stack. I don't care about the extra magnesium hanging out. Cool? So now all our rutile is constantly being processed. As soon as rutile hits my system, instead of an on-demand craft, it's going to turn right into titanium. And hopefully I don't need rutile for anything else. And if I do, I just won't put it in the system, right? And it's pretty easy to do that, right? Now we have rutile ore in here, right? So I'm going to get like 3 stacks of you. I'm going to go throw you down here into this dude and put you in place of that so that you're cool, okay? And that looks pretty good to me. What do you guys think? Nice? So I think that that's a little bit of a long episode because I wound up changing gears in the middle here. But this is the build, right? We've got export bust chlorine, keeping this thing full of chlorine. We've got magnesium, carbon, and rutile being kept in stock in the interface. And we're exporting only 16 rutile and carbon, and we're dumping all the magnesium we can right into here. You're making titanium, which is then getting export bust into here to be cooled off. And you're making this titanium ingot. And that's going to get us a bunch of titanium ingots. So that's, instead of on-demand titanium processing, automatic titanium processing, right? Rutile dust hits the system, it gets turned into titanium eventually. For now, Del20 signing off. Hope you enjoyed the episode. We'll come back next time to get into EV stuff and also look at whatever a microverse is. Because I like the idea of that. Microverse, miniverse, something like that. Teeniverse? Whatever you want to call it. You can go with it. All right, guys. Take it easy.